Well, I have created myself a problem as I don't have much space to work. I took on a bigger project than I have space for at the moment because winter came in really strong and everything that is outside is now inside, and the car has been pulled apart and pushed into areas that have made this space hard to work in. So what I need to do today is organize a bit, continue on some of my journey of making the shop a more workable space, and then I'm gonna make a few things. I'm gonna make some stuff for organization and things that'll help me in the future, and hopefully you get something out of it. Anyway, let me show you what's going on in here. This is what I see when I walk into the shop every day. Kind of kills motivation when you don't have a great clean workspace. At least for me anyway, it's hard to get started knowing that I'm gonna have to clean some stuff up first. Where you are at right now is the man door. This is what I see every day I walk into the shop. Luckily, this table I made is movable and stuff like that. I can kind of reconfigure this space. But some of the stuff that has come inside, like the lawnmower and my kayaks, my bikes, things like that I wanted to have in a storage shed, I didn't get time to do that before winter really came. So I'm going to have to work around some of this space, and I need to reorganize. To get some of this stuff cleared out, I think the problem starts on the back wall. I have a lot of space back there that's not being utilized, and I need to get all this stuff moved back there that I'm not using every day. If there's something that I'm not using every day, it has no purpose being up front here, and I can repurpose the back wall. Let's take a look at the back and see what's going on back there. Originally, this area was supposed to be my mechanics spot. This wall was going to be used for most of my toolboxes and things like that, but right now it's just become a catch-all. It has taken all of the bits from the S14 that have been cut off or disassembled, and now it's just become a really odd storage area. I have my fluids and stuff over there, which I don't really like that. I have this, which is now holding my batteries and cordless tools, things like that. I can make a much better way to store all these items. So I believe I can still use this space for the mechanic area and also some extra storage. I want to continue this metal rack over. I'm going to make a workbench area. I'm probably going to move the fridge over in that area and then take the fluids and put it where the fridge is. I have this elaborate plan. Hopefully it works out, but I got to get started as it's going to take me quite a while. So let's get all this junk out of the way first. All right, so I pushed some stuff out of the way temporarily just to kind of be able to work. And I will restock everything up here as I go through it. I'm gonna reorganize. I chose this height for the shelves as it's kind of uniform all the way across. That may change in the future as I get different things to put in here and store whatever I need. But I like this height for a workbench, and that's what I intend to use this for. This area here will have a nice MDF rather than the metal shelving that I have on that side. That's just for storage. This here I'm going to use as kind of a drafting table, so where I can draw stuff up, where I can make templates for things, stuff like that, and that's where I'll store most of these nice instruments for measuring and stuff like that. So this area will have MDF on top. I chose to use 1/2 inch on purpose. So I have a 1/2 inch MDF as it's a very clean, nice surface to draw stuff on. And I chose 1/2 inch because I could have got something sturdier, like 3/4. That's what you'd want to use for like a workbench area. But I chose 1/2 inch so I'm not tempted to beat up the surface. I don't want to be hammering on here or anything like that. This would be strictly for making templates and things like that. So I want this to be a nice surface to work on. I will put another one over here, but this will probably be more of where I keep my cordless tools, chargers, things like that, and I'll figure out how to organize this area. Above will just be more storage. So for my body kits, things like that, that will be the top storage area. And then underneath, I'm going to make some kind of roll-out drawers and stuff for storage that will be for my hardware, for electrical stuff, for fittings, things like that. So I kind of have a plan going on here. It's kind of subject to change. I can change the height of this and stuff if I need to. Eventually, I'll probably end up raising this side to put toolboxes under. So we'll get there when we get there. So first thing I got to do is cut up this MDF. So let's get to cutting some wood. Look at this area I'm working in, this little tight space, because I had to move everything over. But hopefully this frees up some space. Let's get cutting. And that temporary table that this is on for cutting is gonna go away. I can tell you right now, this is not my weapon of choice. I don't like using cordless saws, especially the cheaper ones, but I can't find my nice saw for the life of me. So this is what I'm gonna use to cut. Hopefully I got a nice straight line that I can, well, it's gotta be straight. I'm gonna try my best. Okay, so I haven't cut the length, which was 71 5/8. Now I just have to rip it down. So should be right at 22 inches a piece. So I'll cut two 22 inches and those will be my workbenches. Super simple, drop it in and it should be pretty clever. Nice surface to work on. So you can see I set my saw depth to be pretty close to just barely getting through it because I'm gonna rip it on this table. I don't really have anything to stable everything up, so I'm just gonna go straight down the center and rip it, and I don't want it to fall, so let's cut this baby. Honestly, not my greatest cut. I think I was a little too focused on the vacuum rather than the cut. But it's not terrible. Let's go see how it fits. Woo-wee. That fits nice. So that'll be a good surface to work off of. Can finally draw some stuff. Instead of drawing on OBS or the ground, have a nice space to work. I'll probably fill this in with my different levels and stuff like that. Stencils, things, whatever, for any kind of drawing templates and stuff I need. All right, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at today. I have OBS that I cut up here, so now I have a top shelf. I have the MDF here for my workbench, and really now all I gotta do is just kind of play around, move some stuff around, see how things fit. I might play with putting some tools and charging stuff in this area, and then try and get all of my measuring stuff, stencils, everything over here. And then I would like to also put lights under here as well, just so I have a bit better visibility. So I'm gonna kind of think through some ideas, play with some of the lights that I have. I know I'll probably end up ordering some more from Hyperlight, but yeah, good spot to be. So I'm gonna sit, chill, look at some stuff, and listen to music. And I'll be back at this tomorrow when I make some stuff to go under this bench. So everything's gonna be on wheels underneath there that I can move it around and then store it under there. So we'll pick up tomorrow. So this morning, impossibly cold. It was in the negatives, and I went to go run into town to get some hardware for the project I wanted to do today. So I fired up the Suburban, almost made it into town, lost the radiator or freeze plugs or something. Lost all the coolant. So I had to make the decision to just turn around and drive back, as it's 0 degrees right now, and I didn't have time to kind of decide what I needed to do. I couldn't sit around in the cold and figure it out. Drove it home, may have wounded it a little bit further than I needed to, but that's a problem for another day. So I did get the hardware. I am going to continue on this project. It's basically a storage cabinet for my hardware, my AN fittings, electrical stuff like that. I think it'll be pretty slick and on wheels, and it'll go right under this drafting area or wherever I really need it. So I can move it around the shop. Should be quick, easy, and pretty cheap. So hopefully you like it. Hopefully I like it. Hopefully it works out. Anyway, let's get started on this project. I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, let's explain what's going on here. I'm basically going to make a rollable storage cabinet for all these guys. They're just cheap little storage containers that you can get at Harbor Freight or Amazon. Doesn't really matter, wherever you get them from. I just chose to get a bunch that are all the same size. So this can hold my AN fittings, some hardware, all that stuff. And I want it to be a movable crate. So I'm about ready to start working on my car, and I want to have everything clean and organized so I know where everything is. Everything will be well labeled, and I can just shove it off in the corner when I'm not using it. So I'm going to make something to hold all these and roll away. Yeah. All right, so I have another full 4x8 sheet of the 1/2-inch MDF that I used for the shelves over there. I'm gonna make this kind of like a drawer setup. So you can see I did a little pre-run here with the OBS that I had lying around. So I just cut some 1-inch strips, and basically this will be a side, and then there'll be another side that matches. This is how evenly spaced these 1-inch blocks will be, and each individual container will be able to slide in and out, and I don't have to lift anything off of it. It's just gonna operate like drawers. So I wanna start with these side panels first, and get these strips cut and start to glue them on. So it has a little bit of time to set up. Then I'll make the tops, bottoms, and it shouldn't be too difficult. I already kind of mathed everything out, so hopefully I'm correct and I don't have to go back and do anything over. I think I got it, so I'm gonna start measuring it out and cut these side panels. So what I've come up with as a length is 29 inches. Gonna be as exact as I can. And then 13 inches deep. And that's enough to make one of the side panels. I could probably make the top or bottom out of these pieces here. So, gonna keep that on deck. Bingo. All right, so this is roughly the size of the side panel that should house everything that I got. That's four of each container, 4 of the deep ones and 4 of the shallow ones. So here's one, and I'll just make another real quick, and then we'll start making the strips in order for them to hold the storage containers. Let's see if I can do this without knocking over this makeshift table. Oh yeah. All right. So here I'm drawing out, could be either the top or the bottom. Doesn't really matter, just kind of one of them. I need 2 of these as well. So this one is 13.5 by 17.75. I already got to use my drafting table a little bit to draw up somewhat of a plan for this. Hopefully it rings true. I'm not the greatest artist. I kind of have to build stuff. Visual, so I have to see it. Anyway. Got all my pieces cut out. Uncrustable break. Been letting this guy sit out all morning. Been waiting for it. I wanted to get everything cut out first. Reward myself. A little PB&J. Time for the dangerous saw. This thing's been around for a long time. Doesn't really have a catch on it or anything. So it's a little sketchy to use. Also, I'm just cutting 1-inch strips. I have 16 1-inch strips to cut that are 13 inches long. So that's going to be what holds up everything. Yeah, let's get to cutting. Set up a little factory here. This is my rough plan. It's just an idea, just to make sure that I had some of the measurements correct. I kind of knew what I wanted to do already, so I just had to draw it to visualize it a little bit. So right now I have everything cut out. So what I'm going to do is lay out the side panels. I have 2 cut here, and then I have these little 1-inch strips that are cut 13 inches. They will fit along like so, and these will hold all the boxes. So this is basically my drawer setup. So all I gotta do is lay these things out, starting with the first one being 1.5 inches down, then 2 5/8 for the smaller boxes, then 4.5 for the larger boxes. So it'll kind of space out a little bit, as I want the larger boxes on the bottom. That will hold more like my A-in fittings and things like that. So now we just lay out these side panels, get a good, nice line, and then I will probably glue them and then just brad nail them in place. So right now I'm just laying out where the supports need to be, and hopefully I'm right. Hopefully everything is dead on and I don't have to do anything crazy. I bought some screws just in case, but I think I'm just gonna glue and brad nail it. It's not gonna have that much weight on either side, so we'll see how it goes. Let me set myself up. So I got my little stage set up here. What I'm gonna do is just glue these bad boys up a little bit. So this should help just a bit. I don't think the brad nails are really strong enough, so gluing it will help out quite a bit. So I just glue these strips, and then I'll set them on the lines that I've already made. Brad nail it in place. Let it rest for a little bit. All right, let's get to getting. Definitely want these straight because I don't want to screw it up. I want it all to work. Not the best table, but it will work. All right, so you can see I have my pieces all brad nailed up and glued. This is going to be what holds the storage containers. This is the back side here. And then I have a top and a bottom that are identical. So what I'm gonna do now is just assemble everything. I only have 2 clamps. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go about this with a bit of a strategy, not how I would typically do it, because I'd like to have everything clamped up and squared up as I go along, but I'll do 1 panel at a time. And what I'm gonna do is glue and brad nail everything first, just to kind of keep a placeholder. And then after that, I'm going to pre-drill some holes and bang some screws in it, and it should be much sturdier. So once the whole box is assembled, then I can add the casters. So I will have casters on the bottom as well. But yeah, I'm going to throw this over to a time lapse, assemble this thing, and then I can't wait to get to use it. I wanna see if everything is correct. Hopefully all my measurements are right and I didn't screw this up, but we'll find out very soon. So I have the box assembled. It is assembled for the most part. It's just glued and brad nailed together. Like I said, I want to put some more screws in it, but before I go any further, I gotta see if it works. Because if it doesn't work, then there's no point in going any further. So hopefully I did my math right. I wanted 4 of these deeper boxes. I only have 3, but I'll go back and get one when they have more. So we'll start up 1. My rickety table here that is gonna go away. All right, here we go. This is where I see if the math is correct or not. Feels a little tight. I think the tolerances are a little tight for maybe assuming that all of these boxes were perfect, but these were only like a couple dollars, so I assume they might be off. just a touch. That looks pretty dang good. Like I said, I think some of the tolerances are off in this. I made it maybe a little bit too tight. I probably could have given it just a little bit of wiggle room, but I think over time it'll be a little easier to take in and out. These bottom ones fit a little bit nicer. Yep. And it looks like a proper, correct clearance. So it should all fit. Now, basically all I gotta do is put the casters on it. Actually, first I gotta screw everything together, then put the casters on it. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I don't even know if I'm gonna paint it. To be honest, I think the MDF looks all right, but you get the point now that you can just grab anything you want. You don't have to go through the stack. So, pretty sweet. All right, let's get this thing finalized. All right, putting a couple screws in. What I have is just drywall screws. That's all I have on me. 1-inch drywall screws. That'll be enough for me. So I'm just going to pre-drill a little bit and then a little bit of a countersink just to make sure I'm not splitting anything, and also it gives it a nice finish and looks nice. So I think I'm really just gonna do about 3 per side. I think the brad nails and the glue are gonna do the most. So it doesn't need too much. Little countersink here. Then we'll just drive the screw in. Just a little countersink divot right there. Thing works pretty nice. Should give it a better finish. More flesh and not split it. So you can see that's nice, flush, even. So these are the casters I got. Same thing I got for one of my other tables. I'm pretty happy with them. They're super cheap at Harbor Freight, and they're very effective. So I got the swivelly boys because I want to be able to push it in all directions. So what I'm doing right now is just laying out the bottom. I know that I have a 1/2 inch to go in before I can put a bolt in, so I chose to bring everything 1 inch. So I just drew a 1-inch box from the edge all the way around, and I'm just positioning these where I like on both edges, and then I'll just mark the circles so I know where to drill. So I'll drill holes, and then we'll just bolt them up. I got some 1/4-20 hardware that should be nice and easy. I want them all facing the right direction. If you've ever put on swivelly casters wrong, it's a pain. I hate when stuff doesn't really flow well. Just a quick little circle. This isn't the most accurate thing, but I don't think it really has to be that accurate, to be honest. It will be accurate enough. Now I just gotta drill some holes, bolt these babies up, and I should be done. All right, now just add caster. All right, seems nice, even, rolls well. Pretty dang strong, so I'm just gonna put some stuff away. Put these in, take a look. Should slide right under here. Got a little bit of room left over. I probably could have put just one more. I didn't really do the math on that part, but I probably could have done one more, but I don't really need that much. I kind of calculated as much as I'll need stuff with some standard bolts, some metric bolts, and then my AN fittings and certain electrical things. So I kind of mapped out what I really need. I don't use that much. It's only my personal cars in here, so I don't need a ton of hardware, but I think this will be pretty dang sweet. I'm pumped on it. Just a little afternoon project, you know? So, all right, let's load this baby up. Tucks away pretty nice. Then you can just grab whatever you want, throw it right back. So, pretty happy. I like it. Fun little project. So if you're looking into a little bit more storage, it's a pretty good idea. It's under 200 bucks for everything. And same thing with this metal rack. I went to Menards to get this metal rack. And for this extension, it was under $200 and then 45 bucks for a 4x8 sheet of MDF. So not too bad. Fairly good upgrade for me. I want to say probably almost $400 all in for everything here. Pretty good. Shoo, I am dusty. But that's it. I think I'm done for today. I like the metal racking. I think it was a huge upgrade, and it was maybe just about 200 bucks. Totally worthwhile for all the space I got and the new countertops to work off of. I'm going to reorganize some of this stuff. I need a better spot to put most of my tools. If you guys have ideas, let me know. I am open to damn near anything. As I said, I want everything to be modular, on wheels, movable. So if this comes with me, great. You know, that's what I want to be able to do, is bring it around and then put it back away. So I'm happy with everything. I'm happy with this. Now I can order some hardware, and I can order some AN fittings and things for my future project. So if you like this style stuff, let me know, because I'm probably going to keep doing it for a bit. I have a very big project that requires more tools and more parts, so I need more space. So I'm probably going to continue doing some more shop stuff next time. I need a few more ideas to kind of throw around here and maybe make this all a little bit more workable. So let me know in the comments if you guys have ideas. And again, thank you guys for watching.